Welcome everyone to Monday Morning Morons for July 30th, 2018. For those that don't follow me on Minds, let me apologize for no video last week. I had to work, so I just didn't have the time. Also, I posted over there that I was considering maybe doing a weekly, monthly, whatever live stream at some point. If you have suggestions about it, you want to see it, don't want to see it, when, what the show should be like, how often, whatever, let me know in the comments. I'm not committed to anything just yet, so I'm open to all suggestions at this point. Not sure I'll do it, mind you, but I'm considering it. Anyway, this week, let's begin with our favorite subject, equality. University hit with Title IX lawsuit for cutting sports budget. Did your university run out of money for a sports team because no one comes to watch you play? Well, too bad. You better keep paying for that shit or we'll sue you for discrimination. And where are you going to get the money to keep paying for these things? Well, money grows on trees, damn it. Get out there and pick some more, you lazy bastards. 2 female students have filed a Title IX lawsuit against Eastern Michigan University after the school cut their sports teams, even though the cuts disproportionately impacted male athletes. According to EMU, 4 sports teams were axed in March 2018: men's wrestling, men's swimming, women's softball, and women's tennis. Among the students impacted, 25 were women, 58 were men. But while these cuts impacted a greater number of male students, the lawsuit claims that the cuts are in line with the school's history of providing fewer and poorer opportunities for women in sports, and that the cuts amount to discrimination on the basis of sex. Yep, you heard that right. Cut over twice as many men out, but somehow that's still discriminating against women. And oh yeah, we just want equality, damn it. The suit filed on behalf of Ariana Chrétien, whatever, 19, and Mary, Jesus, get some normal names, people, 21, claims that the decisions to cut 2 of the 12 women's sports teams were an act of sex discrimination and suggest EMU is discriminating against women en masse. It is unknown how many present, prospective, or future female student athletes would enroll in defendant EMU or would participate in athletics at the university if it stopped discriminating against women, the lawsuit states. That's right. There are untold millions upon millions of women just lining up all over the world to play on this team, and you have now discriminated against all of them, even the ones who haven't even been born yet. I mean, God. You know, my future 4 million daughters were going to go to EMU and play softball and tennis. Every single one of them. And hers too. And hers and his and every single woman ever born anywhere was going to play at EMU, and now they can't, you raging misogynists. EMU, however, disputes these claims. In a July 10 press release, EMU alleged that the suit downplays women's involvement in sports at EMU, explaining that, if anything, the decision to axe the teams hit male students the hardest. It is important to note that, following the sports reductions, Eastern now maintains 10 female teams and 7 male teams, EMU noted. We believe our budgetary actions in this matter are wholly appropriate and justified. Of course you do, bigots! I don't give a fuck if you cut every single male athlete out. The moment you cut one woman out, you're discriminating, damn it. That's how equality works. In an interview with Campus Reform, attorney Lori Bullock acknowledged that the cuts impacted more male students numerically, but cited the composition of EMU athletics department overall as evidence of discrimination. Look, I know you canned more men than women, but that's discrimination against women. Jesus Christ. Do you people even hear yourselves anymore? Because you talk like words have no meaning at all. Flying monkey underpants discrimination feelings of purple chickens in school of chirping potatoes. What do you mean that didn't make any sense? Bigot! What EMU is failing to acknowledge is that at EMU, the student population is 60% female and 40% male, roughly, Bullock said. However, the athletics department is almost opposite than that. There are 60% male and 40% female. I see. So the athletic department is the discriminatory sexist bigots here. Not the school, mind you. The 60-40 split there in favor of women is perfectly acceptable. In fact, probably needs to be a little more just to obtain that ever-elusive equality. But the athletics department, oh fucking hell no. More men than women somewhere? Sexism, discrimination, misogyny. More women than men anywhere? Yay! Equality! Thanks for clearing that up, hun. When Bullock was asked whether this disparity may be due to women's relative lack of interest in college sports, as opposed to bias by EMU officials, Bullock rebuffed the suggestion. What Title IX requires is that so long as there is interest in the sport, the school must offer the sport to men and women in the same proportion as enrollment, explained Bullock, who went on to outline that there is large gender participation gap at EMU. For the 2016-2017 academic year, in order to offer the same number of men's sports and still be in compliance with Title IX, EMU would need to offer 273 additional female athletic opportunities, she asserted. That is the participation gap that currently exists. Well, they did cut twice as many men, so looks like they're already narrowed that gap for next year, huh? Progress! Plaintiff Ariana whatever, meanwhile said the lawsuit is an effort to fight for women's rights. The ideal outcome would be just for our sports teams to get reinstated. Men's and women's would be ideal. I don't want to see any athlete sports being cut. But Title IX has given us an opportunity to fight for women's rights, whatever told Michigan Radio. Bullshit. Your butt hurt that the sport you play, that no one bothers to watch, isn't financially viable enough for the school to continue paying for it. This has fuck all to do with women's rights, and you know it. Nice try, though. Wasn't very convincing, but at least you shoehorned in the correct buzzwords, so congratulations for that much, I guess. Moving on, let's see how we're going to achieve this imaginary, ill-defined, ever-elusive equality. Poli-sci professors holding Diversity and Inclusion Hackathon. The American Political Science Association will host a Diversity and Inclusion Hackathon as part of this year's annual conference in Boston on August 31st. According to its website, the purpose of the hackathon is to build on past and present efforts by APSA to promote diversity and inclusion by creating a collaborative, diverse, and inclusive space for annual meeting participants. Oh look! Buzzword bingo! Of course, what we actually discuss at these things is exactly the opposite of those words, but whatever, it sounds good, right? At the hackathon, teams will develop strategies that address key challenges facing the profession, build partnerships, and plans to move forward, the description adds. Though the organizers concede that the event will not solve all the complex problems associated with diversity and inclusion, they do predict that it will help nudge us in the right direction. And what are these supposed challenges? During the hackathon, professors will be split into teams, each of which will examine a different question, such as, how can we make political science education more intersectional? Interesting. See, I might have phrased that particular question a little differently. Like, for instance, do we need to make political science education more intersectional, or should we leave the bullshit oppression Olympics to the Women's Studies Department? But then, I suppose, when you've already decided that you're going to teach horseshit, you need to come up with a plan on how to do it, right? Using genomics to teach about race. Again, I might have asked, should we be teaching race at all? Could we maybe unite people by teaching them that race doesn't matter? Or should we keep separating people into smaller and smaller groups so they can fight amongst each other over who is the most oppressed in an out-of-control death spiral to destroy humanity? I guess we know which one you've already decided to do, though, don't we? And what can men do to advance women's equality in the discipline? Or we could ask, why are we assuming men need to help women succeed? Why have we decided that women cannot succeed on their own merits and talents? How exactly are we empowering women by teaching them they are helpless victims who need men to fix everything for them? But that might lead to some rather uncomfortable self-reflection, huh? Better skip that shit and just point fingers at everyone else instead. Brigham Young University professor Jessica Priest, for instance, is on the women's equality team, along with Columbia University professor McCartan Humphreys, the goal of which is to develop a set of ideas or materials that will guide male faculty who wish to be allies in the effort to promote the advancement of women and female-identifying scholars in the discipline. Our goal is to create a document of behaviors that men can publicly commit to and encourage other men to publicly commit to, Priest explained in a tweet, noting that the hackathon will go on for 6 full hours from noon to 6 on August 31st. And there it is. The root of all this shit boiled into one simple statement. Thank you so much, Jessica. What is all this feminist bullshit really about? Control. We will decide how men should behave, and you will do it. Need examples? Well, you're in luck. Suggestions from her little survey provide us with some. Priest also shared a list of suggestions compiled from an open-ended survey of women about the topic, which includes such recommendations as pushing back against manels by ensuring that panels, programs, etc. have women and people of color. Having a panel to discuss an issue? Well, you'd better invite women and people of color. And I don't give a fuck if they know anything about the topic either. Expertise is toxic masculinity. We learned that 2 weeks ago. So just grab some random genders and skin colors because that's what matters after all. What? No, it's only sexist and racist when you don't judge people's value by their gender and skin color, you silly goose. Survey respondents also said university administrators should take steps to proactively hire more women, asserting that faculty composition should ideally reflect a gender balance, and should also ensure that their institution pays men and women the same while instituting family-friendly policies like parental leave. Right. We suggest you hire more women, pay them more, give them special benefits to help them along the way, and make them work less, because that's how equality works. In addition, the document calls on male professors to stop perpetuating bro-y behavior among their graduate students, check the behavior of other men when they observe mansplaining, and amplify others' comments by calling on less privileged people first in group conversations. Do not be friendly with your male students, police other men's thoughts to ensure they adhere to our prescribed behavior, stop men from explaining anything to a woman because when you have a vagina, you are already omniscient, and discriminate against those damn evil white people. Sounds like equality to me. Include us in your lunches and stuff, one bullet point instructs male academics. Unless it's to sexually harass us, in which case, burn. Yes. Invite us to lunch so we can scream sexual harassment and get you fired. God, you dumb men just are not playing along anymore. It's almost like our public lynch mobs and fever-pitched hysterical overreactions have made you rethink including us or something. I just don't get it. Indeed, one bullet point even states that universities should punish men who violate the incomplete list of norms above. Like, just literally make it too expensive to do that shit. It's not hard. Yeah. Just, like, literally fine every single man on the planet who doesn't do exactly what we tell them to do. It's not that hard. Campus Reform has reached out to Priest, Humphreys, the organizers of the hackathon, and the APSA for comment, but none have responded. Gee, I can't imagine why. I mean, they sound like such pleasant and reasonable people. Alright, toxic masculinity time. Woman kills fiancé after arguing about wedding guest, cops say. Ah, yes, I remember this one. When I saw the title, initially I thought, well, you know what, never mind that. As it turns out, the guest list isn't the real story here anyway. As we read along here, I want you to remember one very important thing. Listen and believe. Till death came a little early for one bride-to-be who stabbed her fiancé to death Saturday during an argument about a wedding guest, police said. Jacqueline Souza, 31, was arrested on suspicion of murder after officials say her fiancé, Brandon Watkins, 33, was stabbed with a steak knife at the couple's Colorado Springs home, the Colorado Springs Gazette reported. Souza called 911 around 12:30 a.m. Saturday to report an unknown urgent medical assist When police arrived, they discovered Watkins unresponsive on the kitchen floor with a bloody steak knife on the table. Souza, who was reportedly in the process of divorcing another man while planning her wedding to Watkins, reportedly gave investigators several different accounts of the events leading up to her fiancé's death. The couple appeared to have been engaged since late June. Wait for it. Souza said she and Watkins were coming home from a bar to celebrate their upcoming wedding in Las Vegas when they began fighting over the guest list. She said the groom wanted to invite a woman he had once had an affair with, causing Souza to believe the relationship was ongoing, the report stated. But what happened next remains unclear. Souza initially told police she walked out of the bathroom to find Watkins with a steak knife in his chest and the door open in the kitchen, officials said. Police, however, didn't find any signs of a possible break-in. Got that? She totally doesn't know what happened. Must have been a random break-in. Some unknown person, just for no reason at all, burst into the kitchen, grabbed a steak knife, and stabbed the man, then ran out, all while she took a pee. She has absolutely no idea why there are no signs of a break-in, though, because that's clearly what happened. Weird, right? Not yet. The would-be bride then speculated Watkins must have stabbed himself in the chest after their fight, court records stated. So now, some unknown random person walked into the kitchen for no apparent reason, grabbed a steak knife, handed it to Watkins, and he stabbed himself in the chest before the intruder ran out the back door without a trace. Now that is weird, but hold on, there's more. In her third account, Souza accused her fiancé of cheating with several women. She then claimed Watkins became violent and they continued trading insults in the kitchen, where Watkins grabbed the steak knife and threatened her, the Colorado Springs Gazette reported. Did you catch it? She said the magic words. She's a victim now. We have to believe her. She said she's a victim. So now, a random person wanders into the kitchen, grabs a steak knife, hands it to Watkins, who proceeds to stab himself in the chest and fall on the floor. The intruder runs off into the night without a trace. Then Souza comes out of the bathroom. Watkins gets up, takes the knife out of his chest, long enough to threaten Souza with it, at which point she then reportedly backtracked on her statement about Watkins threatening her, but said Watkins fell on top of the knife when she pushed him to get away. Oops, I guess he wasn't threatening her, but she had to push him to get away anyway, and he fell on the knife, impaling himself apparently a second time. Souza told investigators she dialed 911 and administered CPR until police arrived. Then she called 911 and gave him CPR because, she cares and all. Whew! That is one fucked up series of unfortunate events, huh? No wonder she's shaken up. Imagine yourself in her shoes. Your fiancé is dead, and you have to tell the police this incredibly strange story about how it happened. You know they aren't going to believe you, but it's the God's honest truth. You're a victim after all. You said you were. And victims never, ever lie out of their ass. Good luck to the defense attorney in this one. You just know the jury is going to be full of sexist, racist, rape apologists who won't believe that shit. Okay, let's wrap it up with a laugh. Do Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez supporters understand socialism? I don't want to spoil it for anyone here, but no. No, they don't. However, considering that Cortez doesn't either, not really a big surprise. Last month, 28-year-old Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez shocked the world by defeating incumbent Representative Joe Crowley to earn the Democratic nomination in New York's 14th Congressional District. Ocasio-Cortez gained notoriety nationwide not just for her youth, but for her unabashed embrace of democratic socialism. In her official platform, Ocasio-Cortez offers support for free college, housing as a human right, Medicare for all, and a mandatory minimum living wage. wanting to know if her supporters like the idea of democratic socialism, and if they support the government offering these services for free, I headed to Ocasio-Cortez's district in Astoria, New York. People on the street were quick to offer support for Cortez's brand of socialism and overwhelmingly supported her vision for the district. They were more hesitant, however, to offer ideas for how to pay for all the free things that Ocasio-Cortez is promising. I don't know where the money would come from, but they can figure it out, one person stated confidently. Oh God, us, I guess, conceded another. Exactly, you fucking morons. Perhaps it's the word free that's really getting your noodles in a bunch, huh? Here's a hint that should help you out in the future. None of this shit is free. That's right, you mental midgets. You pay for all of it. Now, I can't play the whole video for you, of course, but it's linked in the article below, so you can go watch it for yourself. But as a teaser, here's one little clip to give you an idea. Asked why she likes democratic socialism.
I'm liberal. I don't know exactly where I'd stand, but I know democratic socialism is better than conservative. It's just better than, it's the better option.
In what way?
When I think of it, I just think of more open-minded people that aren't as economically conserved.
Economically conserved. Hun, next time, just say, I don't know. You'll actually sound less stupid. That's it for this week, folks. Remember the social justice mantra, women are victims, men are oppressors, feminism is just about equality, and socialism isn't government authoritarianism as long as you stick the word democratic in front of it. I'll see you all next time.